And that brings me to the next point, which is healing is about relationships, not religion. Have you ever wondered why it was that the Samaritan was the only one who got it? Why was it that he was the only person who returned praising God and thanking Jesus? One reason might have been that because he was a Samaritan and not a Jew, he was not tied to the religious requirement to present himself to the Jewish priests. Because he was not bound by the religious trappings that the others were bound by, he could more clearly see the big picture. He was able to see that the something that happened along the road had nothing to do with guilt and sin sacrifices. The Samaritan was not blinded by the rules and regulations of the Jewish religion, and so he could more easily experience the true miracle of healing. If we're going to be agents of healing, we need to realize that praying with someone has less to do with saying the right words and more to do with being with that person. It has less to do with getting them on the church rolls and more to do with embracing their humanity. But unfortunately, sometimes we forget that. Finally, we need to remember that healing is not so much a cure as it is a journey to wholeness. All 10 lepers came to Jesus looking for a cure for their conditions. All 10 lepers received the cure. 9 of them saw the cure as an end. They received what they had come for and they went on with their lives. But one of them recognized the cure of his leprosy was just the beginning of his journey to wholeness. It was the cure that led him back to Jesus, and through Jesus was able to embrace the idea of a loving God rather than a punishing God or a rule-enforcing God. The cure was just the beginning of a new life. People find their way to church for all kinds of reasons. Most of us are looking for a cure for what ails us. We may be lonely and looking for a community of friends or a companion in life. We may have gotten ourselves in a fix, whether that be legal or financial. We may have been diagnosed with a life-threatening disease and we find ourselves suddenly facing our own mortality. We come for different reasons. We come looking for a fix, a cure. We come looking for healing. And we may even find that cure, but it's the rare person who realizes that the healing is less about a fix for their life situation and more about a journey to wholeness. If we're going to be agents of healing, then we need to be willing to do whatever it takes to help the other person that we encounter along life's path. We need to be conduits of God's love, however that may look. And that brings me back to this morning's first reading, the words of the Dalai Lama, which should be the prayer of each of us. May I become at all times, both now and forever, a protector for those without protection, a guide for those who have lost their way, a ship for those with oceans to cross, a bridge for those with rivers to cross, a sanctuary for those in danger, a lamp for those without light, a place of refuge for those who lack shelter, and a servant to all in need. And may God make it so in your life and in mine. Amen.